Alright guys, so I hope you're doing fine as always. In today's video we will have a look at this 4-hour trade that I took on HYPE USDT. I did record my chart live when looking for the setup, so without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. Alright, so now for the actual TA part of the video. I'm here on the HYPE USDT chart on the 1-hour time frame. So first thing that's standing out is this retracement here. It looks like a FIP retracement, so we have a quick look. We see it got pretty much somewhat respected at the 682, but shoot through. If we go to the 15-minute time frames to check what's standing out, we see this red vector candle on the top side, which we mark. We're going to check if we have any FIP entries in case this is the top, because they swept this high right here. So just indicating zones that are standing out. We see this 382 is quite an interesting level, so 382 here on this orange line. Previous resistance turned into support here, so quite an interesting level to chart out. We also going to indicate our liquidity, so the tops of our wicks. We're going to do the same thing for the 1-hour time frame here, just indicating the wicks. So indicating all these liquidity zones. We're going to check our FIP levels in case we do hit this vector candle zone that we were looking at. So we do kind of expect them to go to this vector zone. They already swept this high with a vector and it shows some strength, so we can potentially make a top here to have a small retrace. So just checking that out. These FIPS levels are not that interesting in my opinion. The 0.5 you could say is the sweep of this low, but not the biggest fan. We do have this fair value gap here now, which is quite standing out. So just going to indicate that as a potential entry. We are of course looking for a long setup. You can see this is quite a bullish setup. Head retrace, moving higher, retrace, moving higher, retrace. We're looking for a scenario like this. So I want my entry to be on this fair value gap in anticipation that price is taking out this vector candle to then come back down and move up. If we then zoom out a little bit, here we can also definitely see that this is quite a bullish structure, so we should be looking for a long. What do we see here on the 4-hour time frame? Unrecovered vector zones above this wick, unrecovered vector zones above this wick as well. This top line, topside liquidity, not too much going on there. So for my TP target, I do decide to target this unrecovered vector, sweeping this liquidity. You could consider targeting this, but we're already quite close. It would be difficult to have a good risk to rewards factor if we want to target this. And in all fairness, these are not that far apart. So it would make sense if they clear this vector candle, sweep this liquidity to then make potentially a corrective move again. But nevertheless, both zones could be targeted. So if you saw this setup and wanted to target the top side or this orange line, the first top side liquidity, would have been perfectly fine as well. I decided to go for the higher one So I could have a better risk to reward factor. Entry on this fair value gap, which they leave behind here. Stop loss, I want definitely below this wick and below these little wicks right here, as this was previous resistance turned into support, so want my stop loss slightly below that. I decide to put it there on a nice 4R below these levels, so this trade is ready to go for me. Now, what can we say about this trade in hindsight? First of all, the screenshot of the trade, entry at 45.269, 45.269, TP at 47.843, TP at 47.843, resulting into a 142% ROI on 25x leverage. Most importantly for us, this is a 4R trading setup. Now, what do we see here? We did make the move up into this vector candle, found somewhat of resistance, but managed to break up to sweep this high right here that we indicated. From there, they did make the retracement into our entry zone, into this fair value gap on the 15-minute time frame. Into this fair value gap. You could see the 50 EMA cloud is also heading into there on the 15-minute time frame, and on the 5-minute time frame it's our 200 EMA which is turning into support. From this entry level, let's switch back to the 15-minute time frame. From this entry level we pretty much bound up perfectly again, sweeping this high, small retrace, sweeping the high that we targeted. So for our vector candle zone and liquidity zone, you can see they went even higher, sweeping this top orange line that we did throw out, which in hindsight, if we look, was also still a 1-hour vector candle, which we missed during our TA. Okay, it happens, doesn't matter too much for us, we did get our 4-hour trade. From there, we did move back down all the way into this small fair value gap here, finding support on this 200 EMA, but that's hindsight of course. To then made another bounce, only strengthening this bullish structure or market structure with higher lows and higher highs. But of course that's hindsight. What matters for us is we got our 4-hour trading setup. That's pretty much everything that there is to this trading setup. Like always, if there are any more questions, please feel free to leave it in the comment section or on the Discord server, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care, see ya, bye bye.